job without looking for an employer that have the labor market impact assessment. In the previous video I did, where I showed you how you can easily migrate to Canada without spending a fortune or without any degree, you remember I told you that you need to look for an employer that have the LMIA assessments that can give you this type of job. Now, a new update has come from the Canada Immigration that you can now get a job offer from an employer that does not even have the LMIA certificate. Okay, so assessment. So I will be giving you all the information you need to know, all the people that is exempted, as you can see right here. To be eligible for this LMI exemption, you need to watch this video to the very end for you to get the better understanding of what this government just got released right now. Okay, so on the 15th, I think the news is actually everywhere. So this is a news that was released 15th of June, and this news says if you speak French, then you can get a job offer from any employer that does not require you to have, or that does not require the employer to have the LMIA. Now, it is stated and in another section of this news that you don't even need to be able to speak or write in French for you to qualify from this exemption. Okay, so if we scroll down to this section and look at this part of this document, it said you don't need to prove you can read or write in French to be eligible for this LMIA exemption. Okay, so now it said there are steps that you need to follow for you to be able to get a job in Canada without having LMIA employer. What are the things that this employer needs to do for you before you need to apply? Before you apply, these are the steps that the employer needs to take, and this is how you need to apply immediately. Okay, it says steps your Canadian employer must take before you apply. Your employer must submit an offer of employment to the IRCC, and they are going to be submitting this employment offer through the employer portal using the LMIA exemption code 616 for the mobility Francophone. Okay, so when I saw this news, I started asking some of my subscriber, some of you that are on my WhatsApp platform, on my membership platform. I started asking you, most of you that can speak French, most of you that have basic knowledge of French. Okay, so this is the program that you can easily apply to if you have basic knowledge of French right now. Okay, and your employer is going to pay $230, okay, compliance fee, and you should know that your employer will ask you to pay this fee. Okay, so most time they will ask you to be the one to bear this fee, right, and give you an offer of employment of employment number. This will be a 7-digit number required for your application. Okay, so when your employer submits an application on the employer portal with the exemption code, they are going to make the payment of 230 Canadian dollars as the compliance fee. They are going to generate the employment offer number for you, which is a 7-digit code. This is when you can now proceed to the first step to go and start your application immediately. Okay, first you need to create your account on the IRCC portal, and before you do this, you need to understand that you need to make some payment as well. Okay, here it says before you apply, you need a scanner or a camera to create an electronic copy of your document, because you need to scan some of your documents when you are applying for an offer, right? And you also need a credit or a debit card that you can use to make payment online. Okay, now after you get ready with your debit or credit card, and you have your smartphone that you can use, you can go to the Play Store to download a scanner. make sure you create account on this IRCC portal. So we are going to look at how you can create the account right now. But before we do that, let's look at more detailed information about this particular program. Remember that a country like Benin Republic and other like Cameroon, a country that speak French, that are colonized by the French this thing. Okay, so but that is not the only country that can participate. If you are also coming from Nigeria, there's a news I saw recently that some France investors want to invest about $600,000 in Nigeria to allow people to start learning French and make French a second language of instruction in the country. Okay, so I will wait for that page to load up while we continue with other things right there. Okay, first thing you have to do when you go to this page is for you to submit your application form. Then you have to check the status of your application time to time to see the response that you get. Okay, here it gives us instruction on what we need to do before we go to the application portal, right? So what you want to do right now is to click on this link. When you click on this link, you are going to see start your application. Then you have to click apply to come to Canada. On the next page, scroll down to the I don't have a personal reference code section. Click the visitor visa study or work permit, okay, because you are going to be getting a work permit. And on the next page, select work. Then on the next page, you are going to be clicking on work. Okay, there are a list of documents that you need to be able to provide, and if you click on this section, if you are not uh, in Canada, you need to make use of this first link. And if you click on that first link, it gives us information about the type of document that you need actually. Okay, so make sure you answer this question correctly. When asked how long are you planning to stay in Canada based on the offer of employment, choose either temporarily, more than 6 months, or temporarily less than 6 months. In response to the statement, I have a job offer and my employer gave me an offer of employment number or LMIA number, or proof that your employer applied for an LMIA, say yes. The offer of employment number is the 7-digit number your employer received after sending their offer of employment to us. When you are being asked what type of work permit do you want to apply for, choose a work permit with a labor market impact assessment exemption. So make sure you pay attention to this and make sure